Now that you ran a Cranbach Alpha and you've determined that you can delete an individual item or that there's consistency on a scale, the first one we looked at had 5 items, but we found it was a lot better if we only used 4 items, and it might be even better if we only use 3 items. It's time to move on and do the combining because we don't really want to use these individual columns for analysis. We want to group all these guys here together as one unit. Just makes it easier for the calculations. So now what I do is I go up to transform, and I'm going to tell it to not to do the recode, but to do a compute variable. And the easiest thing to do here is start off your target variable name. This is going to be the PA for physical appearance, and I'm going to put the phrase combined after it. And then what a lot of people would tell you to do is it makes it a little bit easier if the function group is statistical, and then we come down and we want to do the mean average. And when we double click on that, it gives us the shortcut for what the formula is. Keep in mind that the formula is really blah, blah, blah equals mean parentheses, numbers separated by columns, close parentheses. That's what this is showing, and it loaded you up the names for 2 things. So now I scroll down over here and I say, well, what was I going to add? Oh yeah, this is the first one. So while this first question mark is highlighted, I can double click on that, and it'll put that variable name in there. I could highlight this question mark, and I grab my second one by double clicking on it. Then I can just hit the comma button, no spaces, and do the parties one by double clicking on it. Then I hit the comma. Remember, I am skipping this one from combining it. This is the one comparing your looks to others is not the one we want to add. And I'm ending it by double clicking on 5. Then I come back up here and I say, look, it still says mean parentheses, the name of variable 1, 2, 3. It doesn't have the one we needed to skip, which is good. And it's number 4, and it ends with this parentheses. Cool. And I just hit OK. And at that point, it's going to tell me that it made a new variable. And since there's no error after the execute, it did that successfully. So I come on down here in the variable view, and sure enough, here is my PA combined. So from now on in all the analysis, we are going to skip all these individual parts of the PA. We are only going to use this one when we load it up for analysis. And I can come over here to data view just to show what it did. And way out here at the side, here is this number, and now they're all fractions or percentages. They weren't whole numbers like they would before because that's the average for this person 1, across the 4 components of the 5 we chose to keep, has a mean average of 3.5. This one is 3.75, and so on. So that's how simple that is. Again, it's just a matter of making sure that you've done the Cranbach Alpha and something. My suggestion, run through and do all 5 or 6 alphas that you need to for the study first. Get them out of the way. Save those as output viewers for future reference. Jot down notes as to on one scale, I'm going to take 4 of the 5 pieces. On another scale, I get to keep all 5 pieces. On another scale where there's 10 items, wow, I got to kill off 2 of them. On another scale, wow, there's 10 pieces, I need to kill off 1 of them. Remember the ones that you need to skip. And then again, transform, compute the variable. I'll clear this as if it wasn't there. We just click up there. You give it a new name. So I guess you would type in MBSR. On another one, it would be the RSES. And then put the word combined or something so that you know what's going on. Pick statistical. Pick mean to give you the shortcut for the formula. And it's going to highlight the first 2 things in question marks separated by commas just to remind you. But it's not smart enough to figure out, hey, how many commas do I need to build in? Because it doesn't know whether you're trying to combine or create a mean average of 5 variables, 10 variables, or whatever. But now it's all set up for you to come on over here, and again, by highlighting the first number, like on the next one, you would add this Q6, and then you would highlight the question mark. And then if you knew from the alpha that you could also include that one, and then it's separated just by a comma, and I can include that one separated by a comma. Do take time to make sure that it's adding them as you do this. oh, oops, but on this one I need to skip that one, move on down to that one, or whatever the case might end up being as you build it. Stare at your formula as long as it's mean, open parentheses, all your variables you want to combine, separated by a comma with no space, close parentheses. It's not giving me the OK because I haven't given it a name here. But as soon as I do that, hit OK, come back out, make sure that it not only added it to your variable view down here at the bottom by building out your 4 or 5 new combined scales over here. And again, you can also stare at them as these things over here at the side. And that's all there is to making these scales become one component. Thanks.